Hi, Gula, just to tell you about our wonderful week we've had at Waitabu Marine Park. We've just finished some presentations about what we've been surveying over the last few days. It's included a mantis toe, urchin measurement and check, a trucker shell measurement and check, and Reef Check, which is an internationally recognised system for checking the reef quality. We've had a great time. There were 20 locals and myself. I brought Kirsty from Tuvanunu Resort as well. Helen Sykes is leading it, or has been leading it. We've been studying the Tara zone, which is the fishing zone in front of Waitabu village, in comparison to the Tambu area, which is next door to the village. There's a boundary which is very clearly marked with two buoys. Firstly, we studied the urchin levels, which are locally known as thawaki. There were more urchins in the fishing area than there are in the Tambu area, which is because there are less fish in the fishing zone, which is relatives of the urchin. We didn't see any in the Tambu area because there's so many triggerfish and parrotfish, which are the main relatives. This is quite interesting. We're interested because actually the levels are so close to the border of the Tambu and the Tara zone that it really clearly demonstrates that the fish are very aware of the no-take zone and where the fishing zone is. They're not stupid. So we also looked at giant clams. There are 64 in the Tambu area, up 20 from last year. The largest one we measured was 40 centimetres. They are integral to cleaning the reef. They're part of the whole ecosystem, as is every species, but they're really important because they filter up to the literage of an Olympic-sized swimming pool through their gills, I suppose, every day. So there are lots of those, and they haven't been taken. It's great to see them. There are 2 different species as well, so that's great. We also looked at crown of thorns. They this year are doubled. The count is double from last year, so that's not good news. But with the crown of thorns, it's easy to remove them. So we did a clearance this afternoon or this morning. We picked up 100. Each have 10,000 eggs, so this has helped reduce the repopulation of the crown of thorns by about 1 million. So that's really good news, that we can do something about the crown of thorns. It's pretty dangerous. 2 people got spiked, but they're not going to die. It's just a bit of a sting. What are the other things? We looked at the sea cucumber. That good news about that, they are often poached from this area in particular, but many MPAs throughout Fiji. We've seen, again, more than double count this year than last, and they seem to be living where there's lots of hard coral, and where there's live coral, which is basically in the Tambu area as opposed to the fishing zone. They clean the sand and are really important for the cleanliness of the reef, and they're really important. So we're happy with the numbers of sea cucumbers. We counted the trocker shells. There were more by a long shot in the Tambu area than the Tara area because they're used for the button trade. They're bigger in the Tambu area and the more of them. It's been noted that it's important to keep the large and the small sizes of the trocker shell because they only start breeding. I think they're all male when they're babies, and when they're bigger they start to breed and male and female. So, this is for the giant clam. Giant clam are male to begin with, and then they become, once they're over 30 centimetres, female, and that's when the eggs are released. So the mixture of sperm and eggs can only happen if there are large and small giant clams. That's really important. So back to the trocker shell. Yep, there are lots more in the Tambu area. Sea seaweed levels are really high in the fishing zone because people are walking on the coral, so there's lots of dead coral and rubble and sand and lots of seaweed, which is mainly because of people walking on the coral, but also because there aren't many herbivore fish over on this side, and that's because their predators are being killed, the parrotfish, the triggerfish and stuff and so forth. So that's a summary of what we found. We've had a brilliant week. I'm privileged to be here. Helen's been an inspiration, and all the locals are so fun to work with. Laughter every 2 minutes. Everybody's having a great time and learning about the reef. What I've picked up personally is that there's an incredible amount to learn, but at the same time, reef management is something that I can incorporate and intertwine into island spirit, which is why I'm here ultimately, so we can help with the small applied conservation projects, the counting of simple fish types, or the logging of information from Reef Check, an internationally renowned system. Also that, I'm getting to know locals, which is really important to me and to island spirit as a whole. I've had a great time.